What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to the $10,000 EIDL Grant Stimulus Update Part 2. It is Tuesday, October the 6th, 2020. Please do me each favor. Give this video a thumbs up, hashtag EIDL with all your comments below. Share this video all over social media if you dare. And if you're new to this channel, I ask that you please subscribe and hit the bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before I take off this ridiculous mask and tell you about the breaking news from the President of the United States, I thought I would piss off as many people as I possibly could by letting you know, if you haven't figured it out already, I'm a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, and this Sunday at 4:25 in the p.m., my brother from another mother, Rod Squad, who is a huge New York Giant fan, is going up against me and the Dallas Cowboys. Both of us, for the most part, in 2020 have been absolutely positively pathetic. In fact, the Dallas Cowboys have been pathetic for most of the last 25 years. If you know anything about the Cowboys or football in general, it's been absolutely no defense. 7-9, 8-8 with an occasional 10-6, only to shit the bed the first round of the playoffs. So let me know in the comments, are you a Dallas Cowboy fan? If so, how painful has it been for you? And if you hate the Cowboys, which is going to be a lot of you, especially you Fly Eagle Fly fans, tell me who your team is. And without further ado, boy, that's hot. I just got back from a doctor's appointment. You guys will be happy to know my blood pressure is as good now as it's been in over 10 years. So while I get cranked up sometimes, and I do get red in the face, and I'm sweating right now because of that damn mask, I'm doing really well. All my vitals, my blood work, my blood pressure were absolutely fantastic. So I'll take it in the middle of this pandemic. All right. I probably need my head examined, however, because I'm going to translate the president's 4 tweets. And I know we're going to have some people that are just going to fly off the handle. They're going to say something ridiculous in the comments. I'm going to block them, and that'll be the last time we ever hear from them again. So I'm asking you guys, please, as I said this morning and all last week, this channel is about one love. I don't care who you vote for. I'm well aware that half of you are going to vote for the president. The other half hate his guts. As I said this morning, and I've said many times before, I've gone both sides. I thought, as one example, Bill Clinton was a great president. I was on Wall Street. The economy was rocking. Stocks were on fire. We actually had something called a budget surplus. You remember that in the late 1990s? Now we've got trillion-dollar deficits and $26 trillion in debt. We're on a course that's not sustainable. So the truth is, they're all full of shit. All sides are to blame for what I'm about to read to you. However, as I've been saying all week, this helps us. It really, really does. I'm going to go through each line, and I'm going to tell you why that is. But again, before I do, please, save the partisan bullshit. This channel is about getting you your 10 grand of EIDL grant or the balance thereof and a loan up to $2 million if you qualify. All 3 bills, 1 in the Senate, 2 in the House, accomplish that goal. In fact, the HEROES Act in the House has something called the EIDL Lifeline Grant that goes up to $50,000. It's 6 months of working capital or 50 grand, whichever number is less. What is working capital? Your payroll, which includes to yourself utilities, rent, business credit cards, etc. So if that's 5 grand a month, which is most of you, that's $30,000 over 6 months, not 10. And what if it's 10 plus 30, which I actually happen to believe it is? It's a very, very good thing if the HEROES Act ever comes to pass. However, here we are. It is now 4:25 in the East Coast. I'm going to roll my keys. These are my truck keys. That's a set of dice, because I know I'm rolling the dice right now by analyzing this video. So if this is the last time we engage with one another, I really appreciate all your love and support. About an hour ago, the President of the United States said, and I quote, here we go. Nancy Pelosi is asking for $2.4 trillion. Did she go up again? She did this 2 weeks ago. Remember, she came down to 2.2 and then she backed up to 2.4 again. If she did that again after Mnuchin has tried to negotiate with her for the last several days, shame on her. They deserve to lose the House if that's true. Nancy Pelosi is asking for $2.2 trillion to bail out poorly run, high-crime Democrat states. That's a fact. If you go through the HEROES Act, which I've already said, of the 87 pages on the summary, 20 pages are pork. Have nothing to do with COVID-19. There's nothing to do with CBD oil, marinas of where I'm from in upstate New York. What the hell does fixing a marina, I think it was $5 million, have to do with COVID-19? Nothing. There's line after line of poison pill in the HEROES Act. I think she did it intentionally. She probably knew that this moment was coming. But stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to explain why this helps each and every one of us, regardless of who wins. The president goes on to say, money that is in no way related to COVID-19. We made a very generous offer of $1.6 trillion, and that is a fact. Steve Mnuchin came up a couple of days ago from what he wanted initially, and that was the Problem Solvers Caucus bill of $1.523 trillion, to $1.6 trillion and change. In fact, Nancy Pelosi has not budged. And once again, if she went back from 2.2 to 2.4, as the president just said, and I'm not sure she did, she deserves to lose the House. This is an absolute blatant FU on her part that she was never serious about getting you a stimulus package. But stick with me, both sides are going to get some blame. President goes on to say, and as usual, she's not negotiating in good faith. She has done that before, and so have you, Mr. President. You're both absolutely full of shit. I am rejecting their request and looking to the future of our country. Possible, not probable, possible. We're already in debt, what, 26 trillion? Can we really afford to issue trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of more debt? No, but do we need stimulus that's targeted? Yes, we do. Now, stick with me. The president actually says something good. Even if you hate his guts, I'm going to explain why this is very good. I have instructed my representatives to stop negotiating until after the election when, and here it comes, immediately after I win, we will pass a major stimulus bill that focuses on hardworking Americans and small business. Hardworking Americans and small business. If you recall, the president had said numerous times in the last month, go bigger. But the hawks in the Senate, like a Rand Paul, don't want to spend any money. They don't even want to issue $500 billion. The president, who's no dummy, he's got flaws just like everybody else. He's a negotiator. He knows damn well that we not only need stimulus, but the bigger the stimulus is, the better it helps him not only win the presidency, but hold on to the Senate, which they're in desperate possibility of losing to the Democrats. Even the Vegas odds say so. So here we have the president of the United States, like him or not, clearly outlining that when and if he wins re-election, they're going to take care of hardworking Americans. I think that translates into more tax cuts and small business. That's PPP and EIDL. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important part of the video. Set your politics aside for a second. Regardless of who wins, if the Democrats win, Biden and or the Democrats take over the Senate, the stimulus bill is going to be trillions. She's going to go back to 3.4 trillion that they passed in May. It's going to be a huge deal. And I'll say more about specifics in a second. But the president, if he's smart, now that he's the one that pulled the plug first, he needs to come out, and I think Mnuchin's going to start doing that tomorrow, and say, if you reelect me and the Republicans in the Senate, this is line by line by line of what we're willing to do. And Mr. President, it better be $600. And I'm going to go on record to say that you better double the stimulus checks. $2,400. You yourself said about a month and a half ago that it should be over $2,000. So in exchange for making people wait another few weeks, you better be doubling and put it in writing the stimulus checks. And I would take the dependents from $500 to $1,000 apiece. And you're going to have to go, Mr. President, with at least $600 a week in extra unemployment benefits through the end of January minimum, because again, it's you that decided to roll the dice and pull the plug on the stimulus negotiation. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a partisan video. This is me attempting to tell you as best I can and as honestly and open as I can, regardless of who wins, massive stimulus is coming in the middle of November. I think this helps us double the size of the stimulus checks for those that need it and almost guarantee it's $600, not $400 that the Republicans proposed. If he's smart, he's going to put that in writing or at least out there in the ether before this second debate takes place in, I think, Miami. The president goes on to say, I wonder how many we've lost so far. The president goes on to say, I have asked Senator Mitch McConnell, a total flop. Let's be honest. Him and Marco Rubio, who runs the Senate Committee for Small Business, have been a total disaster with respect to EIDL. They talk about PPP because they've got special interests with banks that are giving them money. But what the hell are they saying about you and me and the EIDL? Neither. Both of those guys should be flushed down the toilet as far as I'm concerned. Oh, I can hear the screaming and hollering. I could care less. I'm telling you the truth and you know it. But to instead focus full-time on approving my outstanding, all right, brace yourself, nominee to the United States Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett. Look, Ruth Bader's exit from this world was untimely, but it's when the good Lord wanted to take her. We have said since day one, we respect her legacy regardless of what you think of the politics. She was an icon. She was a legend. Now we're going to have the nastiest of nasty fights, I would imagine, but we could be surprised here. Who knows? Because the Democrats are going to take a chance. If they're going to bash Catholicism, of which Joe Biden is one, they're really taking a chance with the religious right. So we'll see what happens in that department, but it's going to be ugly nonetheless. President goes on to say, our economy's doing very well. Really? Where? Amazon, who's outside my door every half hour, yeah, they're doing well. What about the airlines? If the airlines don't get a bill or a bailout, Mr. President, they're going under. They've already said they've got 200,000 across the board that they need to lay off. So I'm not buying the fact that we're doing well. Are we coming back? Yeah. Are we coming back a little better than we thought we might? Probably so. We all thought we were doomed in March and April, but it's not doing well. President goes on to say, the stock market is at record levels. No, it's not. The average stock is still down 15%, if not more in some cases. Airlines are a good example. Cruise ships are another. But if you're in the red hot tech sector, yeah, I'll give you that. We're within 5 to 10% of all-time highs in the averages. But the average stock is still taking it on the nose. So I don't agree with that statement at all. Jobs and unemployment are also coming back in record numbers. They're coming back, but not in record numbers. All you're doing, Mr. President, is replacing the jobs that we lost. Everybody knows that. It's impressive. I am fully and full-throated grateful of the fact that we no longer have 50 million that are unemployed. What do we have, 20 to 25 million? So yes, we're coming back. But enough of this rosy, we're at record levels and it's as good as it's ever been bullshit. That's not true. We are leading the world in economic recovery. That's probably true. If you look at Spain and Italy and Greece and some of the places that I pay attention to, they've really taken it on the nose. So net, the United States is among probably the top 2 or 3 in the world in terms of our ability and our recovery. So I will give the president that one. And the best is yet to come. I agree 1,000% with that. I've said if you're just joining us, flying cars and trips to Mars are coming. We've entered the greatest economic boom in human history. The next 15 years are going to be off the charts. 3D printing, you got a bad elbow or an eye socket, you're going to be able to regrow one. Most surgeries, and I've never talked about this with you guys, in the future will not involve an incision. You will ingest or inject what's called nanotechnology. And these little Pac-Man robots will swim to wherever the blockage is, eat the cholesterol that's clogging up your arteries, and you'll defecate it out the other side. There's so many things that are en route when you consider artificial intelligence and what I called the other day the Great Awakening. The move from 3D to 4D to 5D, where love is all that matters. You're going to do what you love, hopefully with me, with who you love, when you love to do it. And we're going to set an example, as I said all week. When EIDL is done, and I've gotten every single one of you at least 10 and maybe up to $50,000 of EIDL grant and a loan up to $2 million if you qualify, I've got another business venture. We're going to take every small business owner, sole proprietor, and independent contractor with a legit side hustle in this country, and we're going to come together as one. We're going to do a lot of YouTube lives. We're going to do some promotional events on this website that we call YouTube. But there's ultimately going to be a separate site. Not only a separate site that'll give you a chance to promote your business and use my firepower, not only in terms of driving traffic to you and your organization or your website, but ultimately, if I have my way, once we get rid of COVID-19, we'll have meetups all over this country and perhaps one really big one each year in either Las Vegas or a place like Orlando. So stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a partisan guy. I just spent 10 or 15 minutes telling you honestly what I think is going to happen. Regardless of who wins, the stimulus bill, because of this delay, is going to be much bigger. I think the checks are going to be double, 2,400 or thereabouts. guaranteed, in my opinion, that it's going to be $600 a week. It may even go beyond January 31 of 2021. I know it sucks for those of you that have been waiting, but look, we've been hanging on by a thread for months now. I'm not going to let you down. I'm going to come to you each and every day there's news, and I'm going to tell you what I honestly think. And one way or another, we're going to get every single one of you at least 10 grand. And maybe up to 50,000 with the Lifeline grant and the HEROES Act, and a loan, yes, you guessed it, up to $2 million if you qualify. So until next time, I love you guys, and thanks for watching.